All right, guys, so it turns out Democrats behind the scenes are absolutely petrified and terrified and collapsing and shitting themselves and crying themselves to sleep, and they recognize and realize what you and I have been talking about for quite a while, which is that Biden is in trouble, bro. Democrats in, quote, full-blown freakout over Biden re-election bid per Politico report. So remember, guys, this is Politico. Politico has a whole bunch of insiders who talk to them. So this is coming directly from like top Biden administration staffers. That's the only way it would run in Politico, is if that's who they're getting this from. A new report from Politico about Democrats' confidence in President Joe Biden's re-election chances employs a metric ton of hyperbolic language to paint a very bleak picture. In the story published Tuesday, Democrats are described as being in freak-out mode 5 months before Election Day, experiencing a pervasive sense of fear where anxiety has morphed into palpable trepidation. Quote, "You don't want to be that guy who is on the record saying we're doomed, or the campaign's bad, or Biden's making mistakes. Nobody wants to be that guy," said a Democratic operative in close touch with the White House and granted anonymity to speak freely. But Biden's stubbornly poor polling and the stakes of the election are creating the freakout, he said. This isn't, oh my God, Mitt Romney might become president. It's, oh my God, the democracy might end. Guys, this is absolutely devastating. This portion right here, this staffer is admitting we know the truth. Nobody has the balls to say it. That's what he's admitting. You don't want to be on the record as saying we're doomed or the campaign's bad or Biden's making mistakes. You don't want to be on the record saying Biden's making mistakes. Your fucking whole job as a strategist is to say, hey, that's a mistake. Let's do this instead so you have a better chance at winning. That's the whole point. What the fuck is there even a position for you for, if not to say, we got to course correct here. You got to go in this direction. So you're admitting your job is just to jack Biden off and cheerlead him and act like he's doing everything perfect and right and there's no problems whatsoever? Guys, literally the least useful job on the planet is Democratic strategist. They've never been fucking right about anything ever. Their whole job is to be fucking milquetoast status quo cheerleaders and to make Democratic politicians feel like their shit doesn't stink and they're special and they've never made a mistake. You are begging to lose in this scenario. Oh my God. The negative feelings only increased after the news that former President Donald Trump outraised Biden during the month of April by $25 million. This had one advisor to Democratic donors keeping an actual list of all the reasons why Biden could lose in November. One advisor to major Democratic Party donors provided a running list that has been shared with funders of nearly 24 reasons why Biden could lose. 24. Ranging from immigration and high inflation to the president's age, the unpopularity of Kamala, and the presence of third-party candidates like RFK Jr. Quote, "Donors ask me on an hourly basis about what I think," the advisor said, calling it so much easier to show them, so while they read it, I can pour a drink. The advisor added, "The list of why we could win is so small, I don't even need to keep it on my phone." He's got a list of 24 reasons why they could lose and why they're heading towards a loss. He doesn't even need a list to say why we could win because the list is so short. By the way, I could help you with that. You ready? Trump might get a criminal conviction. That might put you over the edge by a point. My guess is that's what he thinks too. That's all you have to say. But outside of that, bro, they're in trouble, bro. They're in trouble. How many times have we pointed this out? That even if you account for the polls that are overestimating Trump's strength, which we saw during the primary season, even if you account for that, Biden loses. He loses. Trump's up in every swing state. Every one. Biden probably needs to win by 3 or 4 points nationally in the popular vote in order to win. He's down like 2. That means he's really down by like 6. By the way, in this piece in Politico, they actually go out of their way. I think they quote Richie Torres, the Zionist freak, to say, it's definitely not Gaza. It's not Gaza at all. Well, you guys are ironically demonstrating the problem as you pretend like you're providing the solution. You refuse, like, the pieties and the sacred cows are so ossified that you can't buck conventional wisdom. You can't tell the truth. And people just dismiss you out of hand. If you, hey man, maybe Gaza's the main problem. No. They would never acknowledge that. They would never admit that. Ever. Ever. Cruising towards a beaten man. And they know it. But none of them even have the balls. How can you expect to make a comeback if nobody's even willing to say, you getting your ass beat, dog? It's like, you're in the corner for a boxing match and your boy's getting their ass beat. And then when they come back, you're doing great. Keep doing what you're doing. But you lost every fucking round. Why would I tell you to keep doing what you're doing? In this instance, the Democratic staffers are bitches. And they think there'll be retaliation or retribution, or if Biden ends up winning, they'll be ostracized as a result of being a naysayer. Look at how pathetic. Guys, not only is the whole system of government broken, even the fucking campaign is broken. Beyond embarrassing. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.